In our last lesson, we discussed what is HIV and AIDS. We discussed also the HIV testing, how it's done, and some of the reasons that we should go for HIV testing. And in this lesson, we will discuss about effects of HIV in general and effects of HIV to a family that has a person with HIV and AIDS. One of the effects is that it weakens the individual's body. The body of a person may be weak because the immune is down, he or she cannot eat well, the body becomes weak. There is low self-esteem, especially when there is stigmatization. This is mocking a person just because he or she is having HIV and AIDS. It may lead to low self-esteem. If other people can be talking about me just because I'm having the disease, then my esteem will go down. The other effect of HIV and AIDS is poor performance in school due to low concentration. If the person affected with HIV and AIDS is a pupil, he may be having poor performance because his or her concentration is very low, simply because other people may be knowing that he or she is having HIV and AIDS. Another effect of HIV and AIDS is that one cannot interact with others freely. This is because they may be knowing that he or she is having HIV and AIDS, or they may not be knowing, but he or she will not interact with them freely because he or she must take care that these things are mine, these things are not mine, so I have to protect. I can't eat with somebody's spoon because he or she may be infected. I may infect other people. So one cannot interact freely. Then there is fear, depression, and hopelessness. You feel that you are hopeless in life. You are not worth. You may live all day thinking about yourself, about how you were infected with the HIV and AIDS, and fear that other people may know, how will they say about it. It's an effect of HIV and AIDS, that feeling of hopelessness. Then we have lack of strength to work, play, or walk, or even do any other activity. This is simply because the body is already weak. You have low self-esteem, you can't work. The last one is a feeling of guilty and worthless. This is connected to hopelessness. You feel you are not worth. People may be important to you, but you are not important to other people. You feel worthless. Another feeling is also connected to worthlessness is feeling of unwanted, shame, and lonely. In most cases, you find that you can't interact with other people freely, so you are lonely, and you may feel that you want to talk to people, but people are not in need of you. You feel unwanted, shame, and lonely. Then we look at those effects that specifically affect the family of a person who is having HIV and AIDS. One of these effects is it leads to sadness. A family cannot be happy if one of them is experiencing pain, is having HIV and AIDS. Then lack of parental care. If, for example, the parents have died, so children are left all alone, they lack the parental care that they deserve or they should have. Then there is loss of income, job, and family assets. Loss of income because a lot of money will be spent in buying the medicines. They are expensive, but sometimes it matters with your financial status. So a lot of income will be lost to medication. Then loss of job. A person is already weak, so he or she cannot work, and so he may lose job. Then there is the loss of family assets. They are lost because they may be sold to get money to cater for the medication. So at the end, the family is affected with the loss of income, job, and family assets. Then we have serious financial constraints due to spending of money on treatment and buying for drugs. Sometimes they are very expensive and not every family is able to buy the medicine, so they struggle in finance. There is family embarrassment and shame. If one of the members, maybe for example a mother, is having HIV and AIDS, then the father in that home will be embarrassed. He will not interact with other friends freely because there is that shame. He may be asked about his wife, how is she, then she will feel embarrassed and shame. Also, children may become orphans, that is in case there is a death of the two parents, they happen to become orphans and they have no one to cater for. There is also loss of family due to death of the victims. Both of them may die. In most cases, we find that the mother and the father have died, and so the children are left alone. Some of the children may be affected, and this may lead to loss of the whole family. Men may become widowers while the women become widows. Men become widower because their wives have died, and women become widows because their men have died. Then last but not least, there is loss of breadwinner in the family if the victim is the breadwinner. If the breadwinner was the father and he happens to have HIV and AIDS, then HIV and AIDS leads to his death. This means the family, which is mother and children, will be left alone. There will be no anybody to cater for them because their breadwinner have died. So these are some of the effects which occurs as a result of HIV and AIDS in the family, and in our next lesson we shall look at the effects which occur or effects that affect the whole nation as a result of HIV and AIDS.